So I want to share a story with you guys. This truck I have, it's a 2002 Chevy Silverado 2500. It's always had some issues. It kind of misses, it sputters. I started digging into it. I took all of my fuel rails out, pulled the injectors out, and I realized several of my injectors aren't even firing. I had 2 on the passenger side, 1 on the driver's side. I mean, 3 out of 8. I mean, you get the picture. So I did a video on how to make a do-it-yourself fuel injector cleaner. I cleaned my injectors, and I mean, I did everything I could to get those 3 to fire, and they're just stuck. I mean, they're not fried. I put a multimeter to them, got 13 ohms across them, but they're stuck. I looked around on Facebook Marketplace, and I found some 5.3 injectors. This is a 6.0. Now those injectors are compatible, $40, so I went ahead and bought them. It's a good deal, right? I tested them. They got 13 ohms. I mean, bam, we're good to go. I came home, I pulled my fuel rails out, replaced them, boom, 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 slapped it back together, and was like, yes, all I gotta do is plug these things in and I'm good to go. And the plugs didn't match. I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, this is my issue. And it says you need an EV1 to an EV6 adapter. I said, okay, we got this. So I got online. So I waited a few days and I get them. I look at them, I'm like, man, those don't look right. I bring them out to the truck, pop the hood, and sure as shit, they're the wrong adapters. I'm like, okay, you need this adapter. So I went ahead and sent the other ones back and I ordered that adapter. Well, they were scheduled to come in yesterday. Well, about 6 o'clock last night, that's when I finally got my adapters. And I don't know what I was thinking, guys. But I went down to the park where I take E-shaded train pretty much every day. It's about 5 miles from my driveway. And I was like, I've got very little fuel. I had less than 1/8 of a tank of fuel. And I mean, I had just put 5 gallons of premium fuel in a gas can, but I dropped it off here at the homestead when I came back. So I got less than 1/8 of a tank of fuel. And like a bonehead, I mean, this doesn't even make sense, but I was thinking, I'm going to go ahead and change my injectors at the park. This will be a quick and easy project. And then, I'll conserve fuel. Drive them home. And so about 6:20, 6:30, I started changing my injectors. And that's when everything appeared to go downhill badly. So, I'm going to walk you through this. Now, this is not me complaining. This is a testimony. I mean, God works in mysterious ways. And really what I'm trying to get across to you guys is that when things look like they're jacked, I mean, that's just a chance for God to show himself. I mean, because I used to play a lot of video games a long time ago. And one thing I learned about video games is it doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in, there is always an out. If you look for it, you'll find it. There's always a way out. And people think that there's not, but there is. I mean, it's programmed into the game. And it's like life. I mean, it's programmed in. It's called faith. And if you have it, there's always a way out. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I pull my fuel rails off. I slap the other ones on. And I plug them in. Got everything plugged back in. Fired it up. And it's just gushing fuel. I mean, dumping fuel. Like pouring fuel. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I shut it back off. I'm like, what in the world? Okay, the fuel regulator. Something's messed up with this fuel regulator. And I didn't even look to see the O-ring. So I went to the other fuel rail, the old one. And I pulled that fuel regulator off. And the two aren't compatible. Well, what I didn't know was I had just compromised the old fuel regulator on the old fuel rail. So I put the old one back on. And it's compromised. So it starts dumping fuel. And then I go and I put the new one back on, now that I got the fuel regulator figured out. And it's still dumping fuel because the fuel line it's not attached. And every single time that I pull these off, I have to disconnect the fuel line on both sides. And so my O-rings are just getting fried on both sides. There's 3 of them. And one right after the other, I don't know, maybe I should have stopped and prayed. That's probably what I should have done. But I'm powering through it. And so finally I get to a point where the one's not going to work, the new one's not going to work at all because the screws, the threads are gone. And so it won't even hold the fuel line down. And so, I mean, it's just gushing. I tried to zip tie it. I tried all kinds of different things, and it just wasn't going to happen. And I'm thinking, man, what am I going to do? So about that time, this guy comes over and he says, hey, I've seen you sitting here working on this the pool's closing and everybody's leaving is what's going on. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's dark outside. He says, I'm wondering, do you need help with anything? And I said, I'm screwed, man. So this is what's going on. And I go to show him the screw, and he's looking at it, and then he drops it. Boom. Now it's gone. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, it's fine. It's okay. I got another one. I mean, what difference does it make? I'm screwed either way. So he takes off. Well, then this truck pulls over, and it says like King's Carpentry or something like that. It has a cross on the door. And the woman says, my son said you lost your screw. And I said, well, you know, this is what's going on. She said, well, my husband owns this body shop here in town. I mean, maybe I can go get you a screw. And I said, well, I don't think that's going to help me as much. I mean, I think what I need is like some JB weld. And she said, well, I can take you to the store. I said, I've got no money. I said, I'll figure it out. Don't worry. And she says, well, I'll go get you some JB weld. And then it dawned on me, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old fuel regulator with the good threads, the one that actually came with the truck, and I'm going to JB weld that sucker right to that fuel rail. So I did. I JB welded my fuel regulator back to the fuel rail, and I mean, I cleaned it up the best I could, you know. And then I let it sit. It takes 15 minutes for it to set, 30 minutes for it to cure. I gave it probably an hour. And then I started taking things back off. Boom, boom, boom. I popped the injectors in there, and I put it all back together, and I started. Now it's spraying fuel from the fuel lines because I've fried every O-ring. There's 3 of them, and I've got no O-rings. I mean, and so I'm just like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And so I said, well, I mean, I know there's a way. I know there's a way out of this. I know it's here. So then what I ended up doing was I took the O-rings off my old injectors, and they're not even the right fit. They're not what they're supposed to be, but they worked. They worked. I mean, it's sitting in there. It's not even all the way down like it's supposed to be because these are fatter. And so it's squished down in there and it's plugged. And so at midnight last night, I fired the truck up. I can't see any leaking fuel. There's a puddle, literally a freaking puddle of fuel under my truck. And my gas tank is right on the line. I thought, you know what? Gas station's closed. If I got a $1 bill and like 75 cents in change, I'm just going to wait. So I crawled under my truck and I went to sleep. I got up. I started it up. So I drove it up to the gas station. So I went ahead and popped the hood and took a look, and it did not appear to be leaking. So I drove it home. And it drove better than it's driven in the last year that I've been driving it. The whole point of this whole story is, man, when things look rough, when it looks like there's no way out, when it looks like everything is just jacked, that's just an opportunity for God to say, hey, look, ding, here's a little light, follow the light, because it'll all work out. You know, I don't know how I'm going to make it through the next 6 months. I don't need to. I just need to make it through today. And that's all you need to make it through as well. I promise you. So, this has been a long freaking video, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.